Hey everyone, I am hopping in here relatively quickly tonight to do just a little bit of quality time. Do me a favor as you hop in, just let me know how you're doing. Just let me know. I would love to know. And quick housekeeping tips if you know anybody that needs to share it. If you know anybody that can also use this information, you can tag them. The last thing, if you're watching it later on replay, don't even worry about it. It is all good, like 100% all good, like all the way all good. It's been a busy day for me. I've been seeing patients all afternoon, so that's had me really busy, but I feel blessed that I can do that. But today I want to do a quick talk. We're going to talk about some quick thoughts about trauma during these current times. And the reason I wanted to talk about it is I was sitting there thinking, Dr. Erica, what you going to talk about today? And if I'm honest with you all, and as I said before, let me know how you're doing as you come in, is that I am an empath. I was saying that before it was a thing. I used to always say if I was a sci-fi character, I'd be an empath because I do watch Star Trek, Star Wars, and anything sci-fi. And as an empath, I've always felt a lot of emotion and picked up on other people's energy and emotions. And I don't know about you all out there. I saw on Instagram someone had a post and it said, if tired wasn't actually an emotion or exhausted, they're like their soul is tired. And quite frankly, mine is. But as we talked about yesterday, sometimes we can't just check out because we're just feeling a little mentally tired or emotionally tired because there's just so much going on. And a lot of times when we talk about trauma, traditionally conversations around trauma would center around kind of the big things that everyone thinks of, like physical abuse, emotional abuse, assault, sexual assault and rape, major disasters, catastrophic accidents. And that's what people think about. And even when they looked at adverse childhood experiences, then they started realizing that the experience of racism is traumatic and also can cause some transgenerational trauma. And currently, people have been talking a lot about collective trauma. And one of the different things about collective trauma is collective trauma isn't just a specific individual experience where someone individually experiences something traumatic or difficult happening. It's when a society, a group of people or a community experience a traumatic feeling together. And one of the examples of things that people are experiencing collective trauma right now is like COVID-19. But one of the things that's making everything difficult is, as we said before, COVID-19 and the pandemic isn't happening isolated in its own bundle where everything else is groovy, everything else is fine, and then there's COVID. People are still having to deal with real life living and responsibilities in this time, and other things are still going on. So we've been dealing with a lot of racial injustice. We've also been dealing with racial targeting. So we've had a lot of recent uptick in hate incidents within the Asian community. And we also continue to see significant racism and white supremacy against Blacks, including the recent death of Daunte Wright. And what's going on is we're still dealing with all of these things on our shoulders in the midst of dealing with COVID. And people are also dealing with, some people have people getting sick. They're getting sick. When you talk to a lot of people, their experience of actually having COVID was traumatic to them. And then you have the experience of people that have had family members with it that have either passed away or they thought they might die. That's traumatic. And then we have all of the traumas that happen anyway. Those are traumatic. It's also Black Maternal Health Week. So the experience of pregnancy and having children for a lot of Black women is traumatic. You get the gist, is there's a lot of traumas going on and they are potentially very additive. So you're putting these individual traumas packaged all together with the collective traumas, which make things difficult. And then what we're seeing is with a lot of these collective traumas is that there can be real real lifelong types of consequences where the fabric or the way a society manages things totally changed due to a collective trauma. And we're just having so many things packed on. Is one of the things I want to say is, number one, it's okay to accept the fact that this may feel traumatic. It is, I don't want to say okay because it's not good okay. But there is not something wrong with you if you don't feel good about what's been going on. Don't judge yourself. Be kind to yourself and be kind to others, because this is a very difficult time. And I know they say it's okay to not be okay, but as that saying is, I want you to know that you're not really out there by yourself if you're just not feeling great right now, or you're feeling overwhelmed, or you're just feeling like it just feels like too much. If I can honestly speak, I don't speak on behalf of all Black people, but I speak on behalf of quite a few Black people that I know. Black folks are tired right now. And if I'm just honest about it, I'm tired. I'm Black. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm not tired of being Black. I'm tired of how Black people are often treated, and just seeing people repetitively get killed, or the health disparities, getting treated wrong. You shouldn't have to have a doctor in your family to advocate for you to get good medical treatment because you're Black. That's just wrong. It is. It just is. And people are dying, and just kind of I'll tell the truth here, real story. Every time I see a picture of Dante Wright and his son, I about start crying. It makes me want to cry, because it's just seeing all of, when you extrapolate out the impact of all of these senseless deaths. These are families that no longer have sons, daughters, fathers, mothers, friends, cousins, mentors. There are all of these senseless deaths that you have people leaving the community. And then you also have the impact of, unfortunately, there's so much racism in this country that when people are victims, then we try to, it's a collective we, because I don't do this, but at times society tries to demonize the person, and they will jump all over someone's name after they've died, to try to say that it was okay with killing them. And I just want people to start being thoughtful. I was watching the most recent episode of This Is Us, and I'm not going to give any huge spoilers, but there was this long conversation that Kevin and Randall were having about race. And one of the things I want to challenge you, if you have not walked a mile in someone's shoes that deals with being discriminated against on the regular, is to be open to the fact that it exists, because a lot of the conversations end up being very difficult because people don't want to open their eyes to see that these things happen, or to even see how they have fueled the system. And it's not about everyone trying to demonize everyone white or everyone male, or everyone that just is something else. It's about, there's no way to really make change. Like, if I speak for Black folks, all the Black folks in the world can't change how the rest of America treats Black people. We can't. If we could, we would have done it already. But for us all to be a change together, is we all have to open our eyes, accept and take responsibility for whatever actions we have had that have played a role into all of these unhealthy cycles. And also be willing to see levels of privilege that we've had. It's not that you did something wrong because you have privilege. Sometimes you just have privilege because you're born with it. And most of us have some level of privilege. I don't have as much privilege as someone white, but I have to acknowledge I have some level of privilege over some people, over the fact that I am a physician. And unfortunately, given the amount of colorism in this country, there is some amount of privilege I have being of a lighter hue and African American that I wouldn't have if I was darker. Now, without acknowledging that, I can't do anything to fix it and to make sure that I don't play into activities or behaviors that hold someone else down. So it's very important that we acknowledge our privilege and acknowledge these things happen so that we can be part of change. So I just wanted to come in and talk a moment and just say, it's okay to not be okay. A lot of people aren't okay right now. But if it's more than simply a heavy heart and feeling tired, please reach out to your loved ones and talk to them and let them know how you're feeling so that you can get some support. And if it feels just totally overwhelming, please get some professional help, because sometimes we need a little bit of professional help to get us over the hump of all of the things and all of the stuff and all of the stress and all of the traumas. Um, you can feel free also to check out my website, askdrgoodwin.com, to see about my telepsychiatry practice. I'm seeing people in multiple states, so you can check that out. You can feel free to check that out. But even if you don't check me out, if you feel like it's just overwhelming and it's more than a little bit of rest or some conversations with your friends or family, some meditation and sleeping in one night and a little bit of pancakes will do, please get some help, because there's so much going on and people talk about this mental health crisis. And we were in a crisis of mental health before this pandemic. We are definitely in one now, and we will be in even more of one when this pandemic ends. So it's very important to get help early. So I just want to come in and give you that love. Again, if you know anybody that needs this, tag them, share, hashtag replay in the comments. Let me know you were here. Let me know your thoughts. I want to know what you're feeling. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know if you feel like what's going on is traumatic. But that's what I have for you tonight. I just wanted to come in and give you a little bit of love. I'll be back next week. But next week, I'm going to be on a shorter schedule. So I'm going to the Tuesday, Wednesday schedule. So I'll be on Tuesdays at 7 Eastern, Wednesday at 7 Eastern, and Tuesday will be Growth Groove with Dr. Eric. I have a big announcement that'll be coming up soon. So you want to stay tuned here and on social media to see what's going on, because I've got some big stuff coming out soon that I'm very excited to bring to you. Again, I'm your host, Dr. Erica, double board certified and Harvard trained psychiatrist and integrative lifestyle coach. I am just super passionate about helping people be better, do better, and live better. I do that through my adult telepsychiatry, my books, and my speaking. My superpower is making mental health practical. And I do that so you can have the life that you deserve and that you were created for. So thanks again for coming in. Make sure you do your usual prescription. Call at least one person and tell them that you love them. It will help fill their love bucket. I bet they'll tell you it back. Take care, and I will see you on Tuesday at 7. And make sure to please be kind to yourself.